Hi friends, welcome to my first YouTube process video. So the layout that I'm sharing today was inspired by this layout here that I made a few years ago, and it features 1/2-inch paper strips and sort of like a pinwheel design. And I'm using the Fancy Pants Simply Summer collection. I am on their design team, and so this was one of my layouts for this month featuring these gorgeous papers. These are all from the 6x6 paper pad, and I cut them to be 1/2 inch by 5 1/4 inch. And I originally thought I only needed 8 and then added one more in that fit. Off camera there, I added stitching through every single one of the lines. And then now I'm just building my layout on top of that. You'll see, or you might have noticed that I drew some lines in the center to find the center point of my layout, and that's how I started and tried to just line it up from there. It did help that this paper had polka dots on the background that were kind of even, so I was able to line it up with that. I put a piece of vellum on the back to just kind of soften the design and then lay my photos on top of that. And then these cute banana split and ice cream sundae tags are from a 12x12 piece of paper that I fussy cut them from. And I made 3 clusters around the layout, and now I'm putting in some die cuts that I'm using my edge distresser to distress the edges. I'm using this puffy sticker Simply Summer as my title, and then I'm building up the clusters. So now I'm adding some more puffy stickers there. Just kind of checking out what works. We were actually on our way to get lunch at Wendy's, so I felt that the food icons worked. I added some enamel dots, tried to get in those bathing suit pieces, but they just didn't really seem to work. They were a little too big for this layout. And I pulled out my We Are Memory Keepers tab punch and had to remind myself how it worked. I eventually get there. There we go. And I made 2 tabs for myself, one in that bright, pretty blue, and then one in this corally orange color. And I tucked them in top of, I ended up putting one on top of each photo. And I liked that it kind of balanced the colors that were in the background with the paper strips. And then I decide that I need some text on those tabs, and I use this yellow pattern paper that has a phrase on it and just cut off the part that says "this summer." This is just some fun foam that's in the kids crafts section. Lots of people use that I put on to add some dimension. And then I felt like I needed a bit of a subtitle, so I pulled out these Ellie Studio little alpha tile stamps, and I'm trying to find a color that matches. I first pull out this saltwater taffy color and I try it and I stamp it, but I'm just not crazy about the color. It looks a little different than what I expected, and I thought it would blend in too much on the layout. So I decided to go with prize ribbon instead, and that's kind of the perfect blue to match in this collection. It works really nicely. And so I'm stamping, it's a Jeep thing because we're in my mom's Jeep Wrangler, and we put the top down. It was a beautiful summer day last summer, and we were just kind of enjoying the wind blowing through our hair. And so then I cut all those little tiles out, skip through it there so you don't have to watch me cut in the whole thing. And then I lay them all out just to get my spacing. I end up having to move it over a little bit. And I adhere each of those tiles with a glue dot because I like the little bit of dimension that a glue dot adds. It's just the slightest lift. It's not exactly flat to the layout, but I like the little dimension. And then I finish off with 2 more clusters of enamel dots, and there's my layout. I ended up adding some journaling off camera. That's up above that photo on the left. Just a simple typed font. And that's all for today. So thank you so much for joining me on this journey through my first process video. Hopefully you subscribe, and I'm hoping to bring you lots of new content. Bye-bye.